iRacing's World Center of Racing for the return of the ARC's Race of Champions, a little 6-race V8 Supercar Championship we call AROC. And we're getting things started with one champion already leading the rest, Jacob Bradley. In the number 50 pink Chevrolet Camaro will kick off this Ford versus Chevrolet party here with huge overlays in the middle of this for some reason. The green flag is going to come out and we are racing at Daytona. One lap clean and green. No idea why this weather overlay just decided to appear here. So let's try and get this fixed up while the cars are out there racing in beautiful tandem. Try this one more time. Anyway, through that first lap, Jacob Bradley gives up the lead, and it's going to be 3-time Thursday Night Thunder champion Aiden Norman, who now has control of the field. Let's try and bring this up one more time. See if we can get the right overlays here. Seems like we've had a crash of some sort. And no, we're still having problems. Okay, so, well, we got to get this fixed somehow, right? In any case, Aiden Norman, John Hagan, right now the first two cars there with Jacob Bradley in that second row. Josh Gaiman in the number 61 Chevrolet Camaro, and it's all Chevys in those first two rows. Jacob Prince is now the 5th Chevrolet. Let's go on board with him. There we go. Alright, at least we got the scrolling ticker across the top of the screen. That's going to help us out. Emily Seeger's also in the house as well, cheering for her brother Matt. She says the overlay's cooked. I think we finally got it fixed, Em. Frame rate, on the other hand, we'll get that worked out as well. But right now it's Aiden Norman at the front of this show. Why is my frame rate so poor? If it's not one thing, it's another. We'll get this worked out sooner rather than later. And there's our 17 drivers. Okay, we're getting better here. Maybe the frame rate will get fixed. John Hagan in that 8-1 on the outside. He's got Jacob Bradley behind him, but on the inside here, let's see what the world looks like from the back end of that 8-1 Chevrolet. Who's this going down? It's Aiden Norman. Norman all the way down to dead last, flying through the pits. Did he get bumped? Let's have a look. I'm just not sure what happened. He comes in at a ludicrous speed, and Aiden looks like he's actually going to have it parked, and he did warn us he might not be able to finish this event, and I think he's just going to have to park it, and he's just motionless in the pits, though, so while the chaos continues, there we go, Aiden's moving again, and hopefully he gets to rejoin us. At the front, John Hagan's your new leader, and this is what your race is going to look like here for the next 35 laps. Drivers are going to be able to make it approximately 17 laps on a tank of fuel. That says 35 to 45, which is a blatant lie. Shout out Dylan Brewer, who's in the chat now. So anyway, 17 laps on a tank of fuel. Hagan, Prince, and now Matt Seeger The 3 cars on the inside. Let's see if we can go on board with the Georgia Pilot in the Lime Mustang. Jacob Prince protecting his position on the inside line. The yellow line rules do apply, meaning the drivers cannot make a pass to the inside of that yellow line. Noah Belleville, you see, having to duck to the inside there, maybe a little push from Connor Knowlton. And what I was discussing earlier with these drivers in practice is that the Mustang seems to have a very hard time staying steady when pushing in the bump draft. Let's take a look at the front of Matt Seeger's car, that lime green Ford Mustang. They say that the Camaros have an excellent time pushing in the draft, whereas the Mustangs get squirrely when they're pushing another driver. Big blink out of Noah Belleville in that crimson 41. He sits ahead of Connor Knowlton in the silver Mustang. And to the outside, one of the Bluegrass Bandits in our AROC roster this year. Briley Wright on the outside, and 1 car's already going around. 2-3 cars trying to fly around. Who's that? It's Josh Gaiman who gets spun, and the caution is out for the first time tonight on lap number 8. Everybody scatters around Josh Gaiman. So the first caution of the night, and I'm actually surprised we made it this far. See if we can check out what happened. So this is coming to the 8th lap here. We're going to go on board with Josh Gaiman. Looks like right now he's got Cody Pennell behind him in the 2-8. I think Gaiman just gets loose out of turn number 2, and there's nowhere for Cody Pennell to go. Have one more look. And there it is. A big blink from Josh Gaiman. Gaiman looks like he tries to go down and reclaim his spot, and that's just not going to work. Connor Knowlton also gets involved. Let's go on board with Knowlton. And that's going to bring out our first caution. So if you just tuned in, that's going to be the action right there. Emily says, apple cinnamon candle has been lit. I'm ready for this. Let's see if we can bother our in-race reporter tonight and native of Jacksonville, the Georgia Bulldogs fan, as ironic as that is going to be, Ryan Pennell in that red 1-2 machine. Ryan, it's Rick James up top. Can you hear me? Ryan Pennell, Rick James in the house. You got a copy? And Ryan probably focusing. Doesn't want to be bothered at a time like this. Ryan, you got me.
I got you.
Hey, yeah, man, my in-race reporter here, my normal TNT, my better TNT half in the booth. Welcome back to racing, man. I think this is the first race for both of us here. Well, me doing the IndyCar on the side. But I think for both of us back in the booth, this is the first time in a couple of weeks, man. It's good to be back with you. Welcome to Daytona.
Yeah, been fun so far. Not too crazy, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun out here, and miss being up there in the booth, but love being out here on the racetrack again.
Yeah, what are these cars like to drive? The sound is amazing. They sound like those X-Pipe stock cars from 2003, but how difficult are they?
Uh, Really, the biggest thing is the steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car, so you really have to pay attention, especially when you're trying to hug that yellow line, because the car is actually to your left, where what we're used to, the car is usually on your right. So that takes some getting used to. But as far as driving and handling, the thing right now, this Ford Mustang's driving pretty good.
A lot of drivers are saying that the car is pretty hard to bump draft with. The Mustang especially is something about how the nose and tail hook up.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite of next gen because the Mustang seems to push really, really well. Not so in these cars. I haven't even attempted to bump draft. I'm just kind of playing it safe right now, so just got to be there at the end. That's the way these super speedway races go. So we're gonna try and be there at the end and have a shot to win this thing, hopefully.
Good, man. All right, well, we're going to let you get back to work. You're getting into this lovely, colorful formation. Have fun, man.
Thanks.
So Ryan's going to go back to work. I think I might grab a zesty Coke and get back to work with you here. So stay put. We're what, 11 laps into the 40-lap race. Again, keep in mind, drivers can make it probably 17 to 19 laps on a tank of fuel. So here's hoping that this is going to carry them to what? If we're going to restart here, completing lap 11, so they can go to approximately lap 29. So it does become a one-stop race from here. But if we go green to the end, they're definitely going to need to perform green flag pit stops. And I don't know which of these drivers has and has not mastered the art of pit road. So here's hoping it's not going to be a disaster. Ready to go green again. Lap number 11 about to be complete. Lap number 12 about to kick off here. Jacob Bradley, Jacob Prince on the front row, ready to get us racing again, and we're green at Daytona. Clean and green through the first half of the track. Already 3 wide through turn number 3. And it's a pastel-colored showdown, looking like the Powerpuff Girls out there with the pink, light blue, and lime cars of Jacob Bradley, John Hagan, and Jacob Prince decorating the top 4. Lucky number 13 laps underway with George's Matt Seeger up 5 places from where he started. How about Ryan Pennell, our in-race reporter? He's now up 9 places from where he started with his cousin Cody to his left-hand side in the 2.8 Ford Mustang. Now everybody needs to get settled in, and hopefully they can keep from wrecking each other throughout the next 15 laps. 4 wide out of that second corner. Jacob Prince on the inside trying to get settled again, and the South Carolinian moves onto the low side with Briley Wright tucking in front of him. New Jersey's Tristan Catania just went purple in the Periwinkle car. Top side, 47-26, 3 wide, 3 rows deep. Catania trying to lead the drag race to the line. John Hagan on the inside, and Hagan leads lap number 15. We've got a quarter to go under the lights of Daytona Beach. Bump drafting into the corner. That is some brave, that's just brave right there. Hopefully, this ends up being some more relaxed bump drafting here, and driver's not trying to push the issue, but this is just excellent racing. The top 15 drivers separated by 3/4 of a second. Let's go on board with Jacob Prince. Aaron Edwards in the house, one of our TNT regulars, now completing his rookie season last year. Cheering for Matt Seeger in our YouTube chat, saying Seeger's got to lock in. He's ready to get this win. Matt Seeger sitting in that second position, middle in the line, up 7 places from where he started with Tristan Catania on the outside. Ryan Pinnell behind that 1-6, carefully not pushing, while you see this Camaro combo. John Hagan in the blue, Jacob Bradley in the pink, with a focused bump draft all along the inside, and Cody Pinnell diligently following in the 28. 17 to 19 laps is what drivers will get on one green flag run. They pitted on lap 9, so the quick math will tell you they'll make it to lap 28, which is 10 more circuits around Daytona. Hagan in the 81 commanding the inside line. Tristan Catania flying the flag for New Jersey in the Periwinkle machine. He's got Noah Belleville behind him in that crimson 41. Drivers get 1 fast repair. So any damage that they incur, they can come into the pits, quickly get it fixed 1 time, and that's it. So hopefully they've used it wisely. How about one driver who's using his time wisely? The North Carolinian, Aiden Norman, who still is a lap down. Remember, he came down into the pits unannounced, parked it, kept it moving. 1 more caution, he'll get his lap back because of the lucky dog. Aiden currently running the quickest lap of all, 47.08 seconds. He's the fastest car on the field. And right now, it's just a gridlock. Oh my gosh, they nearly wrecked. They almost crashed. Watch this again. Hopefully we don't miss any action at the front, but Ryan Pinnell almost bought the farm on the inside. Check this out. Ryan and Tristan make contact, and everybody survives so far. Ryan Pinnell right now being scored as your new leader for now. How about Matt Seeger on the outside in the Line Mustang? He's mounting a charge. Pennell again gets squirrely out of 4. Down that front straight, 1-9 at the line. Pennell, Hagan on that inside. Look at Cody Pennell, the cousin of the race leader. Now going 3 wide with Noah Belleville and Josh Gaiman. Belleville wants to tuck to the inside. Tommy Withers has to let up in the hot pink Camaro. On board with the Virginian. Sparks, smoke. Drivers scraping the wall absolutely everywhere. John Hagan blinking his lights at the front. At the front, Ryan Pennell will not cut off the blue Camaro, and they will drag race to the line to lead lap number 22. Pennell at the line by 4/100ths of a second. If they stay green, green flag pit stops are only 6 laps away. You see that inside line, everybody giving each other acres of space, nobody really forcing the issue. And on the top side, Indiana's Kevin Feemster is right up the tailpipes of Ryan Pennell. There is your first place single file line, and that's the most calm I've seen these cars all race long. Ryan Pennell in the 1-2 leads Kevin Feemster. Behind him, the Fords are outnumbered in tonight's race. Of 17 cars that started and are still running, 7 of them are Fords. So they're outnumbered by 10 cars. To the Chevrolets, it's Mustangs versus Camaros. Pick your favorite. I couldn't tell you who's going to win. This is the first year that we've had this generation of cars. This is the 3rd gen of what used to be known as V8 supercars. Now they're just known as regular supercars, and if you've never seen them before, well, the first place you would have seen them is probably in Australia. That's where these cars come from. So why not put them on the oval? And we've got our first takers for green flag pit stops. John Hagan coming in, trying to get it slowed down. He's wiggling into the pits, as is Aiden Norman. Tristan Catania also going to join them. New leader, Noah Belleville. And now it will be a Ford versus Camaro drag race at the front. Noah Belleville with 0 help and taking advantage of the side draft. Where's Ryan Pennell going to come through, occupying that inside line? I also want to give a special shout out to my man Larry Eberhard, who's watching on YouTube. He's another one of our TNT regulars who's tuning in to the first round of 6 in the ARC's Race of Champions. 14 laps to go. Who's going to wreck coming into the pits? Belleville's coming in at a ludicrous speed. Ryan Pennell also coming in with a huge slide there. So the top 13 drivers now coming into the pits. 14th by himself. 15th by himself. 16th in the pits by himself. Gaiman and Hagan will now have to catch up to each other. Aiden Norman has no draft help. Season 10 Thursday Night Thunder champion Jacob Bradley is at the front. He won pole. Nick Pressey motionless. Pressey's down. He's away. He's going to be the first driver out of the pits, but who is going to help him draft as well? Cody Pennell's now out of the pits by his lonesome in the 28, and look at this here. Jacob Bradley, Noah Belleville side by side. Connor Knowlton's going to join this one as well. Now it's Bradley who's falling well behind, but at least they have help. Here comes John Hagan with no draft help whatsoever, flying past the cars exiting pit road. There's Nick Pressey by his lonesome. He will have no draft help. Cody Pennell's in second. John Hagan is in third. Noah Belleville comes screaming by with a tail full of Josh Gaiman, and now the chase is on. Lucky number 13 laps to go at Daytona. Pressey at the front, 2.25 seconds lead over Cody Pennell, who's got a bumper full of John Hagan. Noah Belleville in the 41. He's got Connor Knowlton, Kevin Feemster, Jacob Bradley, and now Tommy Withers to join. Josh Gaiman on the outside with no help. Briley Wright being aided by Jeremy Brio. Matt Seeger falling well behind. He was in the lead. He's got no draft help, and he desperately needs to catch up to Aiden Norman, who is still one lap down. Tristan Catania is now coming out of the pits again. Did he get a speeding penalty? Tommy Withers is speeding, but no penalty for the Virginian. He just went purple. 47 seconds flat. These drivers do need to be careful. They cannot bump draft each other out of the way. It's going to be 11 laps to go this time by. Nick Pressey has finally been caught by Cody Pennell and John Hagan. But here's what's interesting. We don't know. Oh my gosh, look at that. John Hagan bump drafting way too aggressively, and a glove save by Cody Pennell. That was a world-class Stanley Cup save by Cody Pennell. Can we run this back? Here comes the cavalry. John Hagan's going for a move on the outside, but can we run this back? There we go. Watch this. Look at the hands. Look at Cody Pennell's hands after taking that bump draft by John Hagan. Aggressive moves. This time, rewarded. Hagan cuts to the inside, right in front of Noah Belleville. It will be 1-0 to go this time by, and then it's 9 at the line. Drivers pitted on lap 26. Quick math will tell you they can absolutely make it to the end of this race. They can go approximately 17 to 19 laps on one tank of fuel. They will have just enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Lost my cool there. Cody Pennell almost getting turned there by Jacob Bradley. Some real aggressive bump drafting there. But anyway, what I was driving at is that they have just enough fuel to make it to the end of regulation. If it goes into overtime, I don't think everyone's going to have the gas to make it. How about this? How about this? Going 2-3 wide and almost crashing. This bump drafting is going to decide this late race caution. I'm just going to gamble on that right now. 8 to go. Chat, who do you got? Who's going to win it? Let me know. John Hagan leads Noah Belleville on the inside. Those are two Camaros nose to tail. Kevin Feemster goes high and gets into Jacob Bradley. Just loses control. Two Mustangs in the middle. Two Camaros on the left-hand side. And on the top side, two Camaros. What do you like? Ford? You like GM? You like Camaros? You like Mustangs? Do you like racing? Who do you got? 8 laps to go this time by. This is race 1 of 6 in the ARC's race of champions. Look at Cody Pennell just squirreling all over the place. Tristan Catania about to go a second lap down and certainly going to play a factor in the end of this race. And will this unorganized pack here be caught by the single file group back here? I think the answer is an emphatic yes. At the front, Jacob Bradley with all sorts of competition fanning out behind him. Josh Gaiman on the outside. Aaron Edwards says, watch this. Belleville's going to prove he's not washed. Let's see what happens. 6 more circuits. There's Jacob Bradley getting a big push by John Hagan. Noah Belleville in the 41. And all the way in the back, there's lonely Cody Pennell, that black Ford Mustang. But check out that car on the left side of your screen. That's Tristan Catania. He's going to play a factor in the draft here, and he already is. That gap there between that lonely Periwinkle Camaro and the leaders behind him is enough to pull that inside line forward. Watch the gap close with Bradley on the pink machine. Nick Pressey goes purple, 46.97, new fastest lap. Bradley gets an amazing tow from Tristan Catania, who's going to try and move up to the high side now, and everybody needs to avoid the Periwinkle car, but will they use him to advance their position? Connor Knowlton dives down to the inside, and it's 5 laps to go this time by. Three wide, 2 rows deep, with 5 more circuits remaining. Kevin Feemster dropping back. Where's he going to settle? Nick Pressey is at the back of this entire pack. Let's go on board with the Brooklyn pilot. Three to go. Next time by, Noah Belleville at the front of this race. Jacob Bradley to the outside. How about John Hagan in the middle? Bump drafting through the corners. He needs to be careful. He doesn't want to cause an unnecessary wreck. Tristan Catania up the left-hand side. 5 Chevrolets into the top 5. Tanner Lockhart cheering for Matt Seeger, who will definitely need a caution to be a factor in this one. 3 wide, 2, almost 3 rows deep. And 3 to go. This time by, there's contact. 1 car, 2 cars go around. Tristan Catania, Josh Gaiman at the line. John Hagan leads the lap. That's going to be a yellow flag here and a green, white, checkered finish. And as Tanner Lockhart says, Seeger isn't in contention. Seeger's now in contention. And there's the curse of the commentator. We needed a yellow. We got a yellow. Let's go with Tristan Catania. Let's see what happened here on lap 36. Oof. By this point, he's already involved. Let's see if we can back this up a bit. This is coming off of turn number 4. Nope, this is turn 2. My fault. But you can see by this point, they're already pushing and shoving. We know that disaster is going to ensue here. See if we can slow this down a bit. But Tristan Catania in that Periwinkle 48, he's not in the running for position. He's a couple of laps down. And I think it starts here. Let's back this up. It starts with contact coming off of the fourth corner here. Let's see if we can slow it down, zoom in a bit. You're going to see Tommy Withers make some contact on the outside wall here. So look at John Hagan. Run this back again. And I think it starts with Hagan shooting to the outside. One more time. So you're going to notice John Hagan's going to try and move to the outside to pass Jacob Bradley. In turn, Josh Gaiman in the 61 is going to check up. Tommy Withers is going to check up. And I think this starts a chain reaction where Withers is going to knock into Kevin Feemster in the green Mustang in the middle. Look at that. Just daylight between them. So that's what we'd call net code here. And nowhere for Gaiman to go. Gaiman into Catania. Cody Pannell gets involved. And that brings out the second caution, which is pretty fantastic. That's only the second caution of the evening. I love that. So John Hagan will undoubtedly lead a long parade of cars into the pits. Noah Belleville is not one of them. He's going to... No, Noah Belleville is one of them. He's going to come in. And Jacob Brad... Nope. Well, they faked me out. They faked us all out. Belleville stays out. Bradley stays out. Feemster stays out. They think that they will make it to the end on fuel. Remember, drivers can make it 17 to 19 laps on fuel. They pitted on lap 26. Quick math will say they should be able to make it to lap 41, but we're going to go past regulation here. So will they have the gas to make it? We're about to find out. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we're going to be back with the green-white checkers in round 1 of AROC. Lights are out atop the pace car, and Noah Belleville will go back to green with control of this race. Hello, Noah Belleville. Welcome to the booth here. Quick question. Moldy, everybody's watching, and I'm watching too, and I want to know, do you have the gas to go the distance? Noah Belleville, Rick James up top, can you hear me? Noah, can you hear me? All right, well, he can't. We can hear him. He can't hear us, so we'll let him go back to work.
Hello.
One more time. Noah Belleville, can you hear me? Rick James in the booth. Okay, he can. That's okay. We're going to let him go back to work here. Matter of fact, let's see if we can talk to Jacob Bradley real quick, because I want to know if he can make it on fuel. JB, Rick James in the house. Welcome, champ, to AROC, to the ARC's Race of Champions. We couldn't get the answer out of Noah Belleville, so I want the answer out of you. Do you have enough gas to make it? Can nobody hear me? Must be having some serious issues here. Let's try this again. Jacob Bradley, Rick James in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, finally. Holy cow, man. You got the gas to win this race or what?
Yeah, we got enough for maybe 2 green-white checkers here. If it goes 1 extra one, we're probably in some hot water, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, buddy.
Pretty green so far.
Best of luck. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thanks, boss.
If it's not one thing, it's another. If my technology's not working, my mic's not working, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to have 5 more miles to settle this. If you just tuned in, you picked the best time because we're about to kick this off with Noah Belleville and Jacob Bradley in control of this restart. 2 laps to go in round 1 of 6. Bradley and Belleville on the front row. Noah Belleville with control. Green flag is out. They've got to make it to the white flag for it to be an official race. How about another Thursday Night Thunder champion, the Season 9 champion, Jacob Prince on the outside with a bumper full of John Hagan. How aggressive will they get? Hagan does not relent. Remember, the bump drafting in the corners is crucial. Hagan really pushing everything. White flag out this time by. Jacob Bradley in the middle, Noah Belleville on the bottom side. All 3 Camaros leading with the white flag out. Will they make it around under green? And they definitely won't. So now it's 3 more cars to the end. How about that huge wreck behind them? And we've got about 6 more cars who can challenge. Noah Belleville, Jacob Bradley, 1 and 2. 4 Camaros in this 6-car mix. Look at Jacob Prince trying to force the way on the outside. Now the inside. Tommy Withers will go to the outside. Huge blink from Noah Belleville. 3 wide into turn number 3. Noah Belleville leading so far. Belleville goes around. Now more cars getting in trouble. Jacob Bradley has Matt Seeger behind him. Does Seeger get one more pull out of turn number 4? Jacob Bradley, the Season 10 Thursday Night Thunder champion, comes out of 4, and he will win it at Daytona with a last gasp from Matt Seeger in second. Noah Belleville finishing third. What a chaotic last lap and a crazy way to start our 6-race championship. Jacob Bradley beats Matt Seeger to the line unofficially by 0.05 of a second. Matt Seeger with some congratulation bumps behind him. iRacing fireworks kicking off in the Daytona sky, and Noah Belleville getting a little friendly with Jacob Bradley's back end. So Bradley's going to celebrate. We're going to watch this white flag lap because that was, I won't say unexpected, but it was more than I expected. White flag is out. Let's have a look. Jacob Bradley finds himself in the middle here. And I want to go to what caused this caution here. Keep your eye on Kevin Feemster, that green car on the bottom. I think just Matt Seeger got into Kevin Feemster. Connor Knowlton kicked off a chain reaction. Nowhere for Cody Pennell to escape to. So Bradley finds himself second on the outside. And watch these moves here. Take a look at the cream-colored Camaro. That's Jacob Prince on the outside. Just bravely scything to the inside. He wants to get back up top. That's Tommy Withers in the fuchsia car on the outside. Contact between them. Now, Noah Belleville gets hooked on Jacob Prince's nose. 3, 4, 5 cars get involved. And that right there seals it for Jacob Bradley. Matt Seeger with an incredible draft. Just manages to make a challenge and get to the outside. But Jacob Bradley will come home as the winner. He's already parked on the start-finish line. He wants to finish this up. So let's collect our leaders, and we'll wrap this up, fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the podium interviews in just a moment. on the podium with our top 3. Let's start with our white flag participant, one Noah Belleville. Moldy Muskrat, for those that know, coming to the line, that white flag was something. You almost didn't even make it to the end. Describe that last lap for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty wild. I thought I was in a good spot, but then Prince came up behind me and just gave me a shot, and it kind of knocked me up a little bit, and then it got him under me and hooked me. So yeah, last lap, I don't even know how I saved it. I kind of used Seeger to straighten myself out and still get third. So good points day.
Yeah, definitely a good point stay. Now we're going into next week at Watkins Glen, where it's going to be a very wet Watkins Glen, and hopefully we see you there. Will you make it?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a week's time. Let's talk to our second place finisher. We just saw him cross the line on that last lap. Shotgun Seeger, second place in what was not expected to be a second place finish when you took the white flag. Did you think you had a shot to podium when you took that last lap?
Yeah, I mean, it's a super speedway, so obviously anything can happen. I really hate to tear up a bunch of cars. I think me and Knowlton kind of got tagged together or locked together, and it just drug me down, and I took 17 and the rest of the field with it. So I hate that, but obviously I can't complain about a second place. You know, you hate to be second. I feel like I finished second to Bradley a million times, but yeah, I mean, super good points day, and hopefully we can have a good week and carry this momentum into Watkins Glen.
A very rainy Watkins Glen awaits you next week, and then Jacob Bradley just getting you to the line there. But did you have a good time? Are the cars fun to drive? Shotgun? Can Matt Seeger?
Sorry?
The question was, did you have a good time, Shotgun?
Oh yeah, I had an amazing time.
Good.
You know, I'm super happy to be here. You know, everybody in here is really, really good. You know, it's some of the top guys in ARC. So to be able to be here and be in that conversation of, you know, one of the top drivers is super humbling. And yeah, like I said, just looking forward to next week, and hopefully we can carry this momentum.
We'll see you in a week's time. Let's talk to our winner, the Mooresville, Indiana native. You won your first ever TNT race. You won the TNT championship in dominant fashion, and you're already kicking off the ARC's Race of Champions with a win. What is with all the winning, Jacob Bradley?
You know, it's pretty nice to win. I didn't think I was going to win this one. I don't really usually do well at these plate races. You need a lot of friends, and I was really fortunate to have Connor pushing me on that last lap. I
think we lost you there, Jake. Let me ask you this about next week at Watkins Glen. How are you for the rain, and how are you at Watkins Glen?
Never raced in the rain. Raced on Watkins Glen in NASCARs. Never raced in these supercars. These supercars are brand new, so to me at least. So I was learning how to run on the right side the whole time, and I guess we're gonna keep learning and seeing if we can rack up some more wins.
Unofficially, you got a 2-point lead into next week's race at the Glen. Congratulations on the dub.
Thanks, boss.
So Jacob Bradley gets his win, and that was just a thrilling race. That was pretty exciting there. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us for those last 45 minutes. I had a great time. The party does not stop, as we've been yapping on about. Watkins Glen next Thursday night right here, same time, 8:40 Eastern on Rick James TV. Then the third race at the Indianapolis Oval. So our schedule's going to go Daytona tonight, the Glen next week, Indianapolis the week after that, and then we take a break. Then it's going to be Oulton Park. If you've never seen Oulton Park, check it out. It looks like a British Sonoma. It's really narrow, really fast. Then the semifinal at Michigan. Then the final race at Silverstone. Emily's asking about rain. Like what? Yes, rain. Next week at Watkins Glen. Shout out Larry Eberhard. Shout out Emily Seeger, Tanner Lockhart, and you yourself if you've tuned in, and whether this is your first or your last race. Thank you. We're going to keep having fun here. Keep tuning in. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch. Do what you got to do. Until that next race, everybody stay safe. Take care.